Okay guys, so you're gonna need your comb. You're gonna put it where you kind of wanna wear it for your wedding day, so you know where it's gonna sit. Mine's gonna be a little bit higher. And then you take the tape measure and you start with the top side at the end of it, and then you just measure to where you want it. I wanted mine a little bit lower than where my belly button is, and I believe that's 34 inches. Right there, 34 inches. And then you just multiply times 2 and round up. Okay guys, for this part, it's a little bit hard to explain, so I'm going to see if I can show you to the best of my abilities. This is how you're going to get the tulle from the fabric store. They're going to fold it kind of like how the bolt came. So I'm going to show you. Mine's already pre-measured. I folded it in half. And on the top side I have the folded edges. And then on the side as well, that's the folded side. So that's, you kind of want to fold it in quarters, if that makes sense. So the folded edges are on the top and on that side. Okay, so in this picture I'm just kind of showing how you're going to cut it. The left side is a folded edge and the top side is a folded edge. So this is just kind of the guideline of how you're going to cut it. Okay, this has already been cut. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. That's why we added a couple of inches of leeway. So if you need to, you can just trim it up as you need. So we're going to get to the beading part. You're going to need your beading needle. It's a really skinny, thin needle. And then you're going to find your transparent thread. And this is a must for the beading, so you don't see the thread strings all around the edge. And then your beads. These are like clear, translucent beads that I'm going to be using today. And then all you do is you just run your needle through the little dish of beads, and this will kind of catch the beads just like that. And then you just pull them through. Just make sure that your strings are straight there. And then you repeat this process until you have the full length that you need for your veil. So gotta do a little bit of guessing or measuring. You could always measure. I didn't measure mine, I kind of just went and just kind of eyeballed it. So you just keep repeating this. I did most of the stringing of the beads while I was watching movies on a Saturday. So it really doesn't, it's not hard, it's just time consuming, and I think I watched maybe like 2 movies and I finished the whole strands. So you're going to be able to see how quickly it just starts to accumulate like that. And these are my finished beading, so it's pretty cool. Alright guys, for the sake of this video, I used colored thread so that you could see what I'm doing here. It took me a while to figure out how to do this the most effective and easiest way. So I found that just kind of spiraling through, I don't know if spiraling is the right word, but you're just kind of going around the string of beads and kind of I don't know if you can see it, the thread starts to spiral around the beads, and you just go over and under, kind of wrapping the string of beads with this thread. And the translucent thread will work a lot better because it's a little bit, well, translucent obviously, but it's also kind of stretchy, and it will grasp onto those beads and kind of just hug them to the edge of that veil. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I figured out to finish faster, and you just kind of wrap the edge of the beading and the tool kind of like in a spiral around the needle, just like that, and then you just pull the string through, and that way you can kind of advance a little bit more. Instead of doing like one stitch at a time, you just kind of wrap the needle around the edge like this. You just go under, and then you just kind of go around and around until you get to the edge. And this, I think, was the easiest way that I found to do it. It may not give you like the perfect edge on your veil, but for me it worked, and it attached it, and there was no problems with it. So I continue to use this method. If you think you can do a different method to make it look nicer, feel free. And obviously beading is optional, so you could be done at this point. Alright, it's finished. As you can see, the translucent thread really makes a difference. The beads look like they're just floating on the edge of this veil. And there are some imperfections, but it's my first one. But you can practice, obviously, and just practice until you get it right. So this is the finished beaded edge veil. Okay, this one's kind of blurry, but you're measuring 18 inches from the edge on each side of the veil, and I'll show you how to fold that here in a second. So 18 inches from each edge to the center. And this next one I'm going to use a piece of paper to show you, just because I feel that's the easiest way to show you how you're going to mark that. So this is 70 inches long. It's scaled down on a piece of paper, and you're going to fold it in half just like we saw before. And then you're going to, in the other one, how we cut it, we're going to mark the edge with a marker. Make sure that you're marking on the cut sides, not the folded sides. And just a quick little demonstration of what you did on a larger scale. And then you're going to get the scissors and just trim that up, and I'll show you just a little bit better how it works. It's kind of hard to see it and film it that big. So we're going to cut it real quick like this. It's not perfect, just for demonstration. And then you open it up, and I would call this hot dog style. Like in school they tell you to fold your paper hot dog style. We're going to open it up, and we're going to fold it hamburger style. If that makes no sense, please let me know. And then you're going to mark it like I just showed you. So that would be like the 18 inches from side to side, and this middle part is where you're going to do the ruching. And I hope that helps a little bit more with the paper. Alright, ruching. We're going to put the needle through, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to attach the string so that it doesn't come out. So you do a couple stitches there, and I like to loop mine through so that it kind of anchors a little bit better there, and see, it's nice and sturdy there. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're just going to weave through, like in and out, like top and bottom on this on the edge that you're going to ruche, and I'll show you what that's going to look like and how we're going to do that here in a second. But that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple step. I would do much smaller stitches than what I'm doing now, just so that you have a more defined ruffle at the crown of your head for your veil, and you just pull it through, and that's it. Okay, so this is the next step that you're gonna have to kind of keep those ruffles or the ruching to be that same size. I didn't show it too well in this video, but you want to anchor your first stitch before you start doing what I'm doing now. So just like I did previously, you want to do 2 stitches and like attach it, and then when you get to the edge you pull it through, and then you do 2 other stitches on the edge so it kind of closes that little string there, and that when you pull on it, it doesn't stretch apart. Otherwise it's gonna unravel and you're not gonna have a tight little ruffle there. So just kind of tie it to the edge. Alright, so now you need your comb, and you're going to place it right on top of that ruching that we just did. And then you're going to do the first couple of stitches through that between the first 2 teeth, if that makes right there. And you're going to wrap it like maybe twice and get that first little stitch to anchor first. I'm pretty sure it's called like an anchor stitch or something like that. You're going to loop it through. I did like 2 stitches here, and then you're just going to keep going between the teeth. Oh, there it is, my little loop through, and that's nice and sturdy now. So you're going to go to the next one, and I'm going to loop through the back on top of the tool and through the plastic teeth. If I can get it. There it goes. Okay, and then you're just going to repeat this till you get all the way to the edge, and you're going to do this with the translucent thread, but I'm using this green one just for visual purposes so you can kind of see where it's going. And then once you get to the edge, you're going to do the same thing you did at the beginning. Do a couple of stitches until it is completely anchored down, so all the way through, and you're just going between the teeth. You could always double back and do it again for more support, but I think once is pretty good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're done. That's it for the veil. Look how pretty it looks. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell you, I surprised myself. This first started as I just want to save some money. And I kept looking and looking, and there was just no way I was gonna spend that much money on a veil. And I didn't like any of the ones that I saw, and this is exactly what I wanted, but I wasn't gonna pay $200 for it either. So I decided to make it myself, and it actually turned out pretty good. I'm very excited about this veil, and I hope you guys liked it.